Greetings from WPLAY, where we play all day, but we talk about those things you need to know. Charles Davis here, CD Broadcasting, bringing you something you need to know. Today we'll be having live an interview Andre Roxx, bringing you his story from what's been going on in Florida. But I'm going to leave that for him. So definitely call your friends on this, share this with a friend, because this is about another one of our civil injustices that's been happening in America. We don't get enough exposure about what's happening. There's not always someone there with a camera, but sometimes that's the one thing that made it come to light. Put this in for everyone to be able to let me hear what you guys got to say. Opening the doors for everyone to be able to come in on the broadcast. Feel free to put your comments on here, your questions for Mr. Andre Roxx, who's going to be on our show today. Thanks for tuning in here. If you'd like to have your business broadcast or you want to get your turn to have your interview, you can email us at wplayallday@gmail.com. And Mr. Roxx, when you do get on there, just leave us a comment in there so I can invite you into the show. Our viewers are going to love to hear your story. I've been checking it out, and now I've seen what happened, and I'm like, it happens all the time, but you know what? We don't put enough eyes on it. We don't get the whole world to take a look at it until now, lately. People are looking at it and it's not looked at in a good light. Now we're starting to bring these things to the court systems and say, hey, let's be fair about what's going on here. And we need to put more light on any situation. There's injustices in America. There are injustices in the world. But when we're sitting here and we're paying taxes, we're going to work every day, you're doing your business or you're doing your products, and because of the color of your skin, we're treated differently. I did nothing to none of them. I get along with pretty much everybody, so I couldn't see a reason for it ever to happen. But I've seen it myself. But I'm bringing to you someone who not only has experienced it, but is running victorious so far. And we has a lawsuit that's going on right now, a civil suit in the state of Florida. And I don't want to give out any more till we get them in there. So, Mr. Roxx, if you're in there, I see the people joining in. Definitely give us a comment on there so I can invite you into the show for your interview. Comments are welcome. So I'm going to let everyone know that comments are welcome. And I don't know if my co-host got a chance. She did have something to do with our youngest son having a tooth extraction today. Okay, he says, I'm here. The comment you want to do is on the broadcast there, Mr. Roxx. I appreciate you. I got you. I'm here there. I got it. It was slow lag, and I forgot about that lag here. I'm going to bring Andre Roxx onto the show today here at WPLA. Those things you need to know. CD Broadcasting. Charles Davis here with my special guest, Andre Roxx. And it said declining. And I think we did that same thing before, but I know how to get you right back in there. Make sure you turn it sideways and you'll be joining in. Mr. Andre Roxx, we want to welcome into the show.
Hey, what's happening, brother?
There we go. We got Mr. Roxx. Welcome, Mr. Roxx. I appreciate you coming to speak your story on the show today. Of course,
Thank you.
We all have questions. You know that. We have questions. I appreciate it.
No problem. I have some answers.
There you go. I want this to be a little different than some of the other guys. I don't do it like some of the other interviewers when they're going to just shoot what they want to hit with. I want this to be your interview where you're speaking your story of what you experienced. And I wanted to come straight from you, not me editing. And that's why we go live. This is going to be your turn to use. This is your platform to be able to speak on the situation of the injustice that you had to suffer through.
Okay. So let me just start off with exactly what happened, first of all. I have been an activist in dealing with citizens' rights, especially in dealing with rights and police justice for years. I moved to Pasco County, Florida, in 2018, right before we got all of our things moved in. We were actually moving a few things. I was moving my motorcycle, actually. Had been in the county for 3 days, and we get pulled over by police officers. They come up behind us and they claim that our trailer, the license plate on our trailer was bent. That in itself was just a pretextual stop. Let's be honest here. The license plate was bent. Let's be clear here. It was pretextual stop. because it was 3 black men riding in the vehicle. My father was operating the motor vehicle at the time. The officer comes to the passenger side of the vehicle where I was sitting, and he asked my father for his identification, and then he asked me for my identification. Now, I happen to know my rights. So I instructed the officer that no, I was a passenger in the vehicle. You're investigating a traffic stop, which means that the operator of the motor vehicle is the person that you're investigating. I have nothing to do with the traffic stop. Therefore, I'm not required to identify myself.
And I saw that video.
Not like that.
It was plain as day. This guy even talks about getting your plate out there.
Exactly. Just as many officers with the police department, especially when they see a young black man who is not going to bow down to them and say, "Yes, sir, master, I'll do whatever you want me to do, master." When they see someone who knows their rights, they are going to try to punish that person for not bowing down to them. So they instructed me, well, if you don't give me your license, if you don't give me your identification, we'll arrest you. I said, okay, let's do that. Then they arrested me, get this, for resisting arrest. That was the only charge I was charged with. Now let me ask you, does that make sense to you?
Dirty.
Resisting arrest, don't you have to be arresting me for something for me to resist?
Yeah, I had to be something, right?
It was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous that when we finally get to court, because the prosecutor, now we before you go to or something like that, first of all, I was having none of that. There was no deal. It was very simple. Either drop the charges or we're going to take this to trial. But the prosecutor wanted to fight this case. It made me laugh because I'm like, he charged me with resisting arrest, and he doesn't say what he was arresting me for in the first place that I was resisting. Do you really want to fight this in court? The prosecutor wanted to push forward, and the judge, as soon as he saw the case, threw the case out. Like, you can't charge somebody for resisting arrest.
If you weren't under arrest, how could you be charged for resisting arrest until they decided they wanted to arrest you for not giving them your ID? Which I've done the research, and for those viewers, if something you need to know is they will say anything if they're dirty. There's some cops. My cousin is on the force. I'm not saying every cop's bad cops, but not every black man is a black man.
I share a little bit of a different opinion on that, but I'll get to that in a minute. But what I will say is this. Police officers, and this is something that everybody needs to be informed of, police officers are allowed, the Supreme Court has said on many occasions, police officers are allowed to lie to you. So it is very much up to you to know your rights. Now, I'm somebody, I read the law constantly. My phone, I apologize. I knew about Stupplebeam v. Harris.
We just got our co-host there.
v. U.S. I knew my rights before going in, but a police officer, if you go back and look at the video, because both my video that I took with my cell phone as well as the dash cam footage are up on YouTube. You'll see the police officer saying, that in Florida, this is the law. If you look at the dash cam footage, you'll hear me saying, quote me the law. And he said, I don't have to. They are allowed to lie to you. It is your responsibility to know your rights. So it's very important that, especially in dealing with traffic stops and things like that, that you know your rights. Because what police officers are trying to do is they are trying to escalate the situation. And it's because of the way that policing is designed in the United States of America. Police officers, they don't get promotions or congratulations or attaboys or anything like that for showing up on the scene and calming the situation down. They get the promotions and the attaboys and the accommodations and all of that when they make the big arrest. So their incentive is to take a small situation, make it into a bigger situation, so that they can make the big arrest. You know, if you turn a traffic stop into 14 kilos of heroin, you get more promotions and things like that. So, or if you got, you turn a traffic stop into assaulting a police officer or something like that, because you sit there and argue with somebody so long that you get them pissed off. You understand what I'm saying? And then they finally take us. Oh well, man, you caught a guy who's beating cops up. That's the way they do it. But a
Right.
traffic stop, okay, you got a guy speeding. Good job, buddy boy. You understand what I mean? So police officers have an incentive to try to escalate the situation, and they will do so by lying to you if necessary. So it is very important that we study our rights, especially the Fourth Amendment and all of the case law involved in the Fourth Amendment, because that's how a lot of our brothers and sisters get caught up, and in some cases have drugs planted on us. In some cases have just all kinds of. So
Now, I'm gonna jump in there on that
will
pause there.
not
We just got a
follow.
lock screen. There you are.
Yeah, my apologies. Somebody continues to keep trying to call me on my cell phone, man. I apologize about that. You know how it goes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but police officers will definitely attempt to escalate the situation, and they're allowed by law to lie to you to try to do that. So it's that we know our
Call him
rights
again.
and know
And I'll also give you that pause in there. There it
we know
is.
our rights and know the law, especially those revolving around the Fourth Amendment and all of the case law surrounding it. I'd start with Terry v. Ohio, DeBerry v. U.S., Stufflebeam v. Harris. There's a lot of case law, but those are the ones that are going to really. I'm sorry, this person just blowing up my phone right now.
Breaking up bad there.
I apologize.
Look,
But I
I'm
can't
going to
turn
put
the
this in
phone
there. We're
off.
getting comments on here too. We're getting a couple comments. My co-host definitely supporting. She wants everyone to know that it's actually a prosecutor's job to get people to plead out. And that's what they were trying to get. And when they would say, you're going to go to trial, and they don't really want you to go to trial. They're going to threaten you with everything that they can to act like they're going to hide you up under the prison, but it's just to get you to plead out. And she also wants to bring on, that's why she's going to be, my co-host is actually studying her degree to become a defense attorney because of some of the things that we don't know are just hidden in a book. And nowadays you can research and get Google, find out about the 14th Amendment. It's a good one to study, which is what my co-host wants everyone to do. The Fourth Amendment,
I apologize.
the
This
14th
person is just
Amendment, why
blowing
not
my
learn
phone
all the
up,
things,
and I
these
don't
laws
know.
that they're adhering to you? You broke the, there you are. I was giving them a chance to call you back again, and that's what it looked like happened.
Oh man, it's one of my it's one of my models for my clothing line. So yeah, we're and I don't know why they're blowing me up. We don't.
Tell them to stop
They are
calling
really.
and get in on the show so they can hear what you're talking about, so we can too. You know what I mean? We want to hear what you're talking about, but they want to talk to you. Tell them to get on the show and they can hear what you're talking about.
My apologies, my
But that's
brother.
okay.
And I'm doing this with my cell phone. So.
But that's what makes us unique. We can do this from anyone's cell phone. Anyone in the world can get on here, and we can start sharing and connecting our people and letting them know what they need to know. Because WPLAY, we play all day, all over the world. We're doing different ways of playing. But when we talk here, we're talking about things you need to know. Guys, if you haven't never really looked up the 14th Amendment, something right about now tells me you should. You're not hearing this for accidents. There's no oops. You haven't looked up
Right.
the Fourth Amendment? Go look it up. Find out the rights that you have, or at least what we're fighting to get better rights on, those rights that they're not allowing us to even have, that are documented, written laws that they're not even following. But if you don't know it, you don't even know they're breaking the law when they come
Exactly.
in. I looked at the
I
documents
think
and
that
the
one.
video, and they didn't have, they, of course they want to cop out. They don't want this to get publicized. But and as you said, in one of your statements, you tried, and now we're gonna have to bring it. I mean, guys, you need to share this with everyone you can to let them know about the injustice that's happening right there in Florida. Am I saying? I didn't want to say the city. I just knew the county.
Oh, Port Richey, Florida. And I
Port
want
Richey,
to speak on
Florida.
what you just. I want to speak on what you just said there, because I know that there's going to be a lot of people who, and I mean, I got these comments when it first happened. Why didn't you just show them your ID? Why didn't you just do that? Here's the thing. First and foremost, I come from a group of people who fought, died, and shed blood so that I can be considered a full citizen, and by such enjoy the rights of citizenship.
That's right.
Are outlined in the Constitution of the United States. And I feel that it would be disrespectful, number one, for me as a black man not to read and know those rights. And second, not to exercise those rights because there was so much bloodshed for me to have those rights. When we're going beyond that, the attitude that was exhibited by these police officers was a very dangerous attitude. When you have an officer who says, I am in charge, and everybody around me, everybody that I interact with, is going to bow to my commands no matter what, and if not, I am going to punish them. That is a dangerous mentality, and that is the exact mentality that got George Floyd killed. I guarantee Officer Chauvin, the officer who killed George Floyd, this was not his first interaction where he decided to go above and beyond his authority simply to stick his chest out and show how tough he was. So the reason that I'm suing the Pasco County Sheriffs right now is because Deputy Dunn has that same attitude. And if he is allowed to continue to stay on the streets, there may be another George Floyd. And he is being empowered by Sheriff Noco, who is backing his play regardless of the fact that he was absolutely outside of his rights in arresting me. He is being empowered by the prosecutor's office, by Bernie McCabe. Bernie McCabe clearly knows the law. He studied the law, knows that this man was in the wrong, and he still says, no, I'm going to back you, which tells that officer to continue to go out into the street and to continue to do this, continue to basically walk around in a testosterone-filled rage and bully anybody that you can, and we'll back your play. This is how people get killed. This is how Laquan McDonald died. This is how Sean Bell died. This is how George Floyd died, and countless others. And I got to look back and I got to say, you know what? Had somebody stepped up, somebody that maybe didn't get killed but just got arrested, or maybe got a ticket, or maybe just got beat up a little bit, and had they stepped up and fought these people tooth and nail, maybe the person that they killed wouldn't have gotten killed because that officer would be off the force. So
they need to get him out of there.
My goal is to have Deputy Dunn's badge in my trophy shelf.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right next.
You got a trophy shelf ready for him.
Oh yeah, man! Right next to the Baydu Award, man. Right next to the Baydu Award, man. It's gonna be beautiful.
The Baydu Award. What's that?
I came to Africa. I was on tour, And when right before I came on tour, I get an email from these kids. I don't know. These are the kids from the Buddha Baram refugee camp. I don't know how they got my email, but they sent me this little video. And it was right before Christmas, and they said, "Hey, Andre Roxx, we see you're coming to do your musical tour. When you come, can you bring us some school books?" Now, at the same time, my son's asking me for Jordans and a new tablet.
Right.
So I'm like, man, some kids are just asking me for some books. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. So I took all the earnings from my clothing line from then that time until I got to West Africa, and I decided I was going to pay for these students' books. Well, when I got there, I found out that a lot of these students, they didn't have their tuition for the school year. The Buddha Baram refugee camp, it's a poor area of Kasoa, Ghana.
Wow.
I told them, I said, you know what? Get this many messages until I get on the line with you, man. But people are texting me right and left and interrupting the stream.
I see it's going there. So you got to put your phone on silent for them next time. Tell them, put your phone on mute so they'll go straight to voicemail. But we'll get you there. Don't worry. You're doing great. Okay. I appreciate what you've been doing so far, dealing with it.
No problem. So when I get here, I find out that the kids are like, there's a lot of kids that they're not even going back to school next term, so the books aren't even going to help them. So I took the money from my tour. We did Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, Benin. I took the money from my tour and I paid all their tuition fees. I paid 2,000 students tuition fees for the next year. All of the students at the Buddha Baram Refugee Center, I paid their fees. So then the Beidou Awards in Nigeria, they heard what I did, and they gave me an honorary award for doing so.
Wow. Already helping out. So for 2020, you helped 2,000 students continue their education in Ghana, Africa.
Yeah.
Should I not be mentioning that? I don't know if it's okay to mention Liberian students.
To mention, yeah, they're Liberian students. They're Liberian refugees that are currently here in Ghana at the Buddha Baram refugee camp.
Wow, that is really great.
Yeah.
See, some of those things that don't publicize. That didn't get publicized here in America. And I keep hitting at that.
I didn't call a publicist last minute. I really was just coming in here to buy some books and some pencils, man. It was supposed to only cost me like $200-300. And then, it just turned into something else, man.
Hey, it came from the heart. You can tell because that was like right off the hip, and you saw a need and you stepped to the plate. And that's what it takes for us all to do. When you're in this situation, if you have the ability to help out some of our people, do it. Network with each other. You might not be the direct contact. You might be the indirect contact to help someone else with something else. But you were a direct contact. But for those kids to show the initiative to reach out to you and reach out in earnesty about books, because I guess they said, if I'm not going to go to school, I can read the books on my own. And you said, no, you're going to be able to go to school. And you made it go even a step further. Because, some people, if they had got contacted, they would have did the books and they would have had the publicist there, and that would have been the end of it. But to go a step beyond and then not to make it a big publicized thing, it wasn't about the publicity. Obviously, it was about you doing that for the children. And that's what I actually just got to speaking on, another speaking engagement, that it's about our children's children. And Absolutely. If we don't start somewhere, they'll never get anywhere. So a lot of us have been doing generational wealth. A lot of people are opening businesses and they're artists. But we can just connect with one other person. Now, an old saying, I don't want to show my age, but it's each one, teach one.
Wow, that's a throwback. Serious throwback.
Right, you know that, right? So
no doubt.
It's one right there, and you can show them, you know what? I do have the ability to help, and I'm going to help. You just taught them that when they're in a situation where they can help someone, whether it be with a book, tuition, a piece of bread, a dollar, a kind word, they just learn that when you have that ability to help, step up and help.
Absolutely.
You just taught a whole
Absolutely.
village. You know, that's important.
Absolutely.
This
Now, make
lawsuit
no
hit
mistake about it.
today.
Make no mistake about it. I'll take all the free publicity I can get, which is why I'm mentioning it right now. Make no mistake about it. All right.
Right.
I need my music to keep selling, y'all.
Right. Speaking of that, I wanted to bring up you had some new music. I've looked at a lot of old music, and I won't even mention the connection because I don't think you associate with it. But I do want to give,
No.
I believe in our ancestors. So rest in peace to all of those that are no longer with us, especially some of those that, you know, we might have associated with back in the past, like Old Dirty Bastard. Rest in peace. Rest in
peace.
Strength, because I know that that's still one of our ancestors that are looking out for make sure we push to keep going forward for what was started before. This movement of Black ownership and this movement of civil rights that we've been fighting for did not start 2020. It didn't start with George Floyd. It's not going to end with George Floyd because it did light the fire back up. But this has been going on since 1619. That free plug.
Exactly.
With that 1619, we've been battling ever since. It was a battle between each other. Someone says, no, I'm not going to go into slavery, and I'm not going to put anybody into slavery. And you have some of us who are like, well, how much you paying? I'll go get them. So that's what you have now still happening. You have infiltration that's happening from those people who are like, I'll do it for the buck. It ain't, and I said about me in the business. I got to say here at W Play, it's not about the buck. It's about giving those things we need to know. If I need to get a business out there because they don't have a budget to get it out there, and they got a product that I think our people should use, I'm going to put them out there, and I'm not going to make it so expensive that they can't do it. You can't get to it. Information like where we have someone speaking about our civil rights. Someone's going to speak about the 4th Amendment, the 14th Amendment. Another brother who's actually experienced being his rights violated, who's going to court, fighting back. You're teaching them right now. If you don't know, you're teaching right now because you're showing them that when that injustice happens, don't just lie down for it. When they come and they try and break the law on you, don't just lie down for it. But I did notice you were smart enough that although he kept his body cam on, you did have your phone recording. Guys, we got these phones with us all the time. Use it for more than, you know, playing video games or social media. Start looking up stuff, learn stuff. But you know what? It is the one security measure you have to document what's going on. You guys go check out that YouTube video. Where actually Andre Roxx has it up there for you to see, and from the body cam, of how the officers violate the rights just blatantly, like we're stupid. I mean, it was like, you don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, yeah, dude. And they're like, well, it ain't right. And he was like, well, you tell me the right number, and these guys don't even know nothing to say on it. So it's not only they're making up the laws, they don't even know the laws. And they're the ones enforcing it. You got to know the laws, because if they don't know it and you don't know it, they're going to do what they want to do to you. To us. Oh, man, I'm not going to say I haven't experienced it in a bad way myself. And I'm glad to have my sister-in-law joining us there. Thanks. Mrs. Daphne Davis is my co-host, but her sister joined us all the way from Oklahoma there. That's Deandra Tyus. She's joined us from Oklahoma. Andre Roxx is on there telling about the civil lawsuit that he has going on in Florida right now. He hit the courts this morning. And I'm glad to be one of the first people to broadcast about it. So, guys, if you don't think this is something people need to know, they don't know about it. It just happened today. And I'm glad to be one that finally got a scoop on something that helps our people. And what you need to do to help yourself is learn the law. That's the first thing. Because you can't speak on it. You can't even say if they're right or wrong if you don't learn it yourself. So I definitely want to give him a chance to respond to the calls, any calls he had to get back, and we're going to bring him right back. I am keeping notes on the comments as they come up. I try not to interrupt any of our guests when they're speaking, so that's why when he was speaking, I didn't say anything. But again, I am bringing up those comments. People are saying, remember, you need to know what the whole Constitution is saying. The laws are in there were meant to protect everybody, but that's not what's happened. They weren't originally written to protect everybody. There were some people who says it was for everybody, and there were some people who says it was for certain class of people. So the best thing you could do for that is you would have to actually know what even be able to speak against them, and then to be able to have them enforced. And when they're broken, you have to know what laws and what you do to fix those things. And that's where we have Mr. Andre Roxx coming back on to speak about how he's now followed up by speaking on what he's done.
Sorry about that.
After they violated those laws. Oh, don't worry, I gave you that chance. I'm a good filler. When you look back at the broadcast, you'll see I'm a good filler upper. That's one way to say it. I know my wife's laughing.
Right. I'm not touching that.
Now,
I'm not
after this
touching
situation
that.
happened, you actually you had it where they said they were going to drop the case, and then the judge reversed that. No, let me get it right. They tried to lock you up.
No.
The judge reversed the case, and now you're suing them for the civil rights that they broke of yours by wrongfully incarcerating you. They also physically hurt you. I don't.
Right. Well, let's start with this. They locked me up. Then they tried to prosecute the case. The judge threw the case out, and Bernie McCabe was so upset with them throwing the case out that he did something that doesn't happen very often. He attempted to try to appeal the judge's decision of throwing the case out. In other words, he went back to the judge with a motion to reconsider the case being dismissed. Usually when the case is dismissed, that's a wrap. He filed an appeal because and to me, I feel like he had a personal vendetta against me to file that appeal.
And you're not from Florida. Where are you originally from?
I'm from a small town in Pennsylvania you probably never heard of.
Okay. Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
Johnstown.
Okay, and then this was all the way in Florida.
Yes.
So it's not like, you slept with his sister or nothing when you were kids.
Yes.
This guy just had to have a vendetta against, just to say what it is, it had been against the skin color. It was nothing else he had. He didn't know you. It's not like he's like, oh yeah, this guy was at the club last night, he punched me. That didn't happen. It wasn't like, you kind of just, you tell me, what other reason would they have?
Well, I think what happened was initially they arrested me thinking that I was just, another black man that they were going to bully. And when they realized that it was me, and then I went public with the situation, I gave a few speeches and things like that. I feel like I really embarrassed them, and they really needed that win. If you look at their article in the Tampa Bay Times, they investigated themselves and found themselves to have no wrongdoing after this situation. So they really needed to prove, because I stepped out, now I've been an activist for years, but I stepped out and I used this as an opportunity, and I did, some speeches on the courthouse steps. We got press coverage, all of that. And I think that they really had something to prove there. When the case was dismissed, it was an ego thing. They couldn't take that loss. They couldn't take that loss, especially to an arrogant black rapper, hip hop artist like myself. And I'll tell you, I am arrogant. I'm a cocky SOB. I am a cocky SOB. I run around talking a whole lot of crap. I do, brother. I do. I was in the courthouse running my mouth to the prosecutor. I really was, brother. I'm not one of those sit down and be calm. I'm not one of those sit down and be calm. Oh, I told him straight up, you're gonna lose. I'm gonna embarrass you. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose bad. It's not gonna be good for you. It's not good for your career. You need to drop the case now, brother. It's not. See, that's who I am. So they needed the win, and they weren't going to get it, not from me. No. So I think that's what made Bernie McCabe really come at the situation. But then afterwards, see, I will talk a lot of crap, but I also really people from dying. I want to stop people from being hurt. So after what happened, what I wanted to do was I wanted to sit down behind the scenes. I can't get into exactly what was said behind the scenes for legal reasons, but my goal for the last 2 years was to sit down and talk to them in a way where we could change how things were done. And I have to be cautious of my words here. Let's just say that we couldn't come together on how to do that. I thought I was being very reasonable, but we couldn't come together. And this is now why we have to do this publicly instead of behind the scenes.
But you're doing it the right way. And that's what I mean by teaching, is what I was saying right before we brought you back on. You're teaching that when you do have injustice to you, the right way to do it. I'm not saying that everyone's playing their part in this whole thing going on. You got somebody who's got to do the broadcasting. You got somebody who's going to be setting fires. You got somebody who's going to be holding the signs. Unfortunately, somebody's going to get cracked upside our heads. Everyone's playing their part because we're all part of the same struggle in this. But the ones who are actually going to the court systems,
right,
filing those documents, are the ones who are following up in the way that they set it up to work. Now, I've seen that if you file, I'll give you mine real quick. One of the times I was in the system, I said one of the times because, yeah, I wasn't always a broadcaster. So back when it happened, they decided they were going to hide me in the worst place in the whole country, and they were going to get rid of me for life. Well, I paid the big top racks for the lawyers and all that, and it got dropped down. But even though while I was there, we had our civil rights violated, meaning we went times where there was no water. We went times where we couldn't take a bath, we couldn't drink any water, you couldn't leave out of your cell. You were there for 24 hours a day, no 23 in one, 24 hours, you're in lockdown, you can't even take a bath, you can't drink a cup of water. It got so bad people were falling out and they were going to the hospital. Some people would just go ahead and jump off the rack and hit the concrete instead of starving. I don't know. Maybe they thought it was better in the hospital. I'd just rather be hungry. But we went through these things and they say, you know what? If you file a lawsuit while you're in here, it's going to hit the wall. It goes nowhere. You can file all while you're in there and you will get nothing. You get out of there, you leave that part of the country. I'm not going to part of the country, or better yet, leave the country, and you file those documents according to the way that they have it set up to work. And if they decide, and that's why they're called appeals. If when you file it, they slam it, you file it again. It's a way to follow it. Now, we're so set up in that we're thinking that Marching is doing it. The Marching is giving a fire to the documents that are being pushed. So everyone's got a different part to put.
Okay. I believe you have a little bit more faith in the system than I do. And the truth of the matter is this, and a lot of people get mad at me for this. A lot of people get mad at me for this. But the definition of insanity is doing the same things that you've always done and expecting a different result. Okay? We have been marching, we have been petitioning, we have been singing "We Shall Overcome" and filing documents since the days of A. Philip Randolph and the original March on Washington in 1925. Now, if that process worked,
watch out, man.
We wouldn't have a George Floyd. We wouldn't have a Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin. I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but I feel that peaceful protests are a waste of energy. Because what a peaceful protest essentially does is you're going to the people who have oppressed you and you're begging them to stop. Now, let's keep it real here. If somebody is punching you in the face constantly, right? Do you beg them to stop or do you punch them back? It seems like we both grew up in the same type of environment. I ain't never said, please stop punching me, and somebody stopped punching me. It never happened.
No, it don't work that way. It don't work that way.
Me, nah. So we, as black people, have been getting punched in the face since
That's what's up.
1619. Yeah, I'm bringing it out there too. Since 1619, we've been getting punched in the face, punched in the face, punched in the face, punched in the face. And what do we keep doing to our oppressors? Please stop. We marching from the police station. What does that do? What does that do? We're standing in front of the police station singing, "We shall overcome." And the police officers sitting there drinking their coffee, and they're going to come out and they're going to give a little pretty speech to talk about how horrible whatever just happened. And then they're going to go back to their squad room. And then the next day, they're going to beat another brother up. I am going through the legal channels right now. But I also in us defending ourselves. I am Luther King follower. I do not believe in violence at all costs. I believe that, in the words of El Haj Malik, I'm better as Malcolm X. When someone puts their hands on you, send them to the cemetery. Even if that's an officer of the law, whatever. I believe that we are at a point in our community where the only way, and I'm probably going to go off a little bit here, so bear with me for a minute. But the only way that we can ensure our own safety is to ensure it ourselves. Those who have been charged with our safety are the ones who are killing us.
So we have to protect ourselves.
Those resources. Exactly. And what truly bothers me is we saw the George Floyd situation. This really bothered me. There's about 20 people standing around there looking at George Floyd being killed. They're filming and they're yelling at the police officers. There's 4 police officers. Whoop their behind. I'm trying to be nice here.
It's been one I got to speak on for how we treated the lady who didn't do anything. And when you said that, I don't want anyone to feel like they were neglecting their rights to defend that man, because you weren't in that situation. I've stood and seen some things happen from my brother to a brother who I didn't jump in it, but to see the officer doing it, and because of the slave mentality that we've had, that those are the panty rollers, police officers, same thing, that we don't mess with them, and even if there's 4 of them and they're breaking the law, and we're not going to do anything. Well, first of all, did you know that they were breaking the law? You got to know the laws. Secondly, did you have a way to do something? Did you even have, these guys have 4 pistols. If you're not arming yourself to defend yourself, you can't help somebody else. They're showing what they're trying to do is take your rights. If you don't arm yourself, you can't defend yourself. Defend yourself. Defend these children that are getting snatched up. Defend when you see an officer doing wrong. I've seen too many of those videos, though, and that's why I got tangent. I'm sorry. I jumped in there because the lady was getting threats.
No.
Who recorded the video, and that's horrible, because there was no lead. No one taught her, you know what, you see that happening, do something about it. All she knew was what we teach. What do we teach? Record on our phone. Exactly. Video recorder. She did what she was taught. Video record a brother getting beat down. Video record us fighting. Video record the police jumping us. But if no one taught you to do anything.
Exactly. And this is the problem, is even when you're video recording the police know that they're still going to get away with it. How many killings have we seen where it's been on camera? They still walk away. They still walk away.
Yeah.
It's been on camera. And it's walk away. So people think that we're just sitting here with the video camera. Oh, I'm protecting you, my brother. That video camera ain't do a damn thing for George Floyd. George Floyd's still dead. You think he cares that you got it on tape? I mean, we're marching and shouting right now, but there's no amount of shouting and screaming or burning anything down that's going to bring George Floyd back. But I tell you what, had 5 well-armed brothers with semi-automatic weapons walked up to them cops, George
This is
Floyd would
true.
still be here.
We've had learned that from some
And the
groups.
problem that we have, as you said, is the slave mentality. And you go, yeah. The problem is we have the slave mentality right now. We have that slave mentality where we see the badge and gun, and we've been taught all our lives that these men, once they put on that uniform, they're Superman. No, that's a man just like you. Cops bleed just like we do. And I'm gonna keep it real, brother. I ain't met too many people that can whip my behind. I met a few, but I ain't met too many. So just because you got a badge on don't mean you can use these any better.
No, it's true.
I'm
It's
sorry.
true. I don't know if the lady would have had a good chance though boxing with the officers, but you're speaking the truth.
There was a brother standing there. I'll give you an example. This is the one that really killed me. You remember about 2 years ago, there was a little girl, and she was on a cell phone in her class, and a police officer, the resource officer at the school, picked her up and threw her 15 feet across the room and was wailing her. You remember that? Okay. What really pissed me off about that situation wasn't just the cop. I mean, the cop pissed me off, but the cop did what cops do. The cop did what cops do. I can't blame a pig for being a pig. The cop did what cops do. What pissed me off was the brother, the teacher, stood there and watched this officer throw one of his young sisters across him, and he stood there like,
It's that same mentality though. Same thing. Now, this is what I do want people to know. Our history didn't start with slavery, guys. We were way around, way before that. We were doing great things before that. Study before 1600. Try it. Try it. I've had to do it during my studies. Studies before. You'll find us kings and queens, gods and goddesses, rulers, not slaves.
Oh,
Definitely.
May I speak on that? Because I've learned so much just being here.
There it is.
For your viewers that are just tuning in, I've left the United States. I'm here in Ghana, Africa. As a matter of fact, let's step out.
Yeah,
let's step out.
That's
Hold on. You guys are seeing my somewhat. But let me show y'all the motherland. Let me show y'all what they don't show you, because they act like everybody's living in mud huts. This is my crib. We're here in Ghana, Africa. It's a really nice mud hut, right? I'm just saying. 3,000 square feet mud hut. And we're gonna step out here on my balcony. That's my neighbor's mansion sitting next to me.
What?
Look at beautiful God. Oh, you see that? That's a car. You see, we ain't riding on camels.
Is that
and stuff,
Accra?
right? That's vehicles.
Is that? I hope I'm saying it right. Is that Accra, Ghana?
No. I'm about 2 hours from Accra. I'm in Cape Coast.
Yeah, I've been learning more about over there. My wife and I have been looking at that relocation since before the welcome back for 2019. You know, that was going on. I don't know if a lot of African Americans or melanated people know that there are beautiful places in Africa. Ghana, Africa has some of the beautiful places, like this place, looking like a palace. And it's in Africa, guys. Don't just follow the mainstream media. If you're not learning anything else, they're going to only give you what they want you to see. They're not going to let you know that, you know what, it's going to be better for you outside of America. You can live as the king that you are, the queens that you are. You can do that. No. There's places where you won't face discrimination every time you go out to anywhere. And I say anywhere. There's people getting shot in their porch. You go on your porch and get locked up, shot up. You go to the corner store. You can go anywhere. You can go here, and you don't have all these people who are looking at the color of your skin as a reason to hate you. You don't have that. Why? Because there's more of our skin there.
Exactly. Yo, listen. I got off the plane, and for the first time in my life, I felt like a human being. I was treated like a human being. Can I tell you a quick story? Let me tell you what convinced me to stay here in Ghana. I went to the market. And when they sell sugar in little small bags. It look like little cellophane bags. I'm walking down the street and I dropped my bag and my sugar came out. And a police officer walks up to me and he says, "Sir, you dropped this," and picked it
Watch
up
out.
and handed it to me and walked away. Now, I want you to think about this for a minute. I am a black man. I dropped a baggie full of white powder on the ground. A police officer handed it to me and walked
That's
away.
what I'm talking about.
I was like, I'm home. I'm home. I'm home. I'm home. But more than anything, I got you guys in my living room now.
I feel like we just had one of those homes of the stars. We get to go touring around there.
Not with my crib being as dirty as it is right now.
We gotta get you on another one to do that though, because this guy's gonna see how we should be living, and the cost of living is a lot cheaper. I've been watching documentaries on it, but we're gonna get a chance to get you on there and talk about that. I'd appreciate you giving us a tour and letting us know the difference.
Well, let me break this down for you all. And you're not going to believe this, but what I pay for this apartment for a year is less than what most of you pay for a studio bedroom for a month.
Hey, Maylin.
Bear with me 1 second, y'all. I got to plug.
No, we had another good friend, John. My closest people normally comment on here when we're live, because they'll come on just to see what we're talking about. So I was just greeting another one of our long time friends, Miss Maylin. Thanks for tuning in, listening to Mr. Andre Roxx speaking about some of the civil rights injustices. But he also gave us a chance to get a glimpse of how the living is in Ghana, Africa. And he was just mentioning that a big thing I saw, and I'm a numbers person, so you hit it right on the head. What people would pay here in some of the areas for a month, would cover you for a year. Just think about that.
Yeah. Oh yes. I'll break this down. And I'm not going to give you my exact finances. But what I pay for this place is about what you pay for the projects in America.
I forgot it was even an apartment. You said an apartment. That's huge for a project price. I love it.
3,000. Well, my apartment is the entire floor of a building.
Wow.
There's the building that I'm in. It's the entire floor. Yeah. So it's not small. It's not small, and not the projects, but definitely some of your lower Section 8 payments is what I get this place for. So there are the financial opportunities here are incredible. Especially if you're coming with American money. I'll tell you this, guys. I eat. Well, let me tell you this. I took out my entire team when I went on tour. I have an eight-man team for my tour. My security and road managers and things like that. We went out to eat the first day I was here, just taking my team out to eat. We did dinner and drinks for 8 people.
What?
Under $20.
See, that's what my wife wants to get there. Definitely, because we have a large group. My youngest 4 at home with me and my wife, they say every time we go out, we're already a gang. So it's 6 of us whenever we go out. So to be able to do that would be wonderful. I know how it is to feed that on a regular basis. Say you did that with food and drinks. I know you're not talking about Cokes. For $20 is amazing. She knows it. She's like, we got to get there. We got to get there.
No. Brother, I'll tell you this much. My favorite meal here is granite stew with banku. It costs 1 cedi to get granite stew and banku, so that's 20 cents. So if I eat 3 meals a day of granite stew and banku, which is very possible because I love it, I've eaten for the whole day for
Wow.
less than $1.
So blink if you need help.
Yeah.
I need to get there, man. Oh man, it's what people need to know. My wife and I have been looking at it, and I'm a numbers person. I'm like, but you need this much so that we don't have to do anything. But we start figuring out how to have streams of income while we're anywhere in the world, and that's where this idea actually started with the broadcast. And I said, I can help people. Our people can be helped all over the world, no matter where I'm at. Let's do it. And so that's what this is coming to fruition now. But you here in Africa.
No, that's what I do. That's what I do. I mean, my streams of income still come in from the United States and Europe mostly. My only thing that I here in Africa is I do tour with my music. But other than that, my income, the businesses that I own, we sell mostly to the United States.
And that's your clothing line in 1619,
and, I bring it. Yeah, I have one clothing line, and then I have the subsidiary. And yeah, I'm flexing it. I'm flexing it. So we have the 1619 line, which is straight Black activism. Oh, hold up, brother. I got yours right here. I got yours right here, brother.
That's the side. That's it. That's me. You got it right too. Order yours today, guys. 1619 clothing line. Check it out. And if you don't know nothing else, Google 1619. Start somewhere, guys.
Yeah. So Yasimba is it's a straight up African clothing line. You can check that out at yasimba.com. And what I was trying to do is I was trying to create a clothing line that brought together the styles of the urban styles. I'm a hip hop artist. So I wanted to bring the urban styles of America together with the traditional styles of Africa. So I came up with Yasimba, yasimba.com. Yeah, I'm plugging it. Yasimba.com.
Sure, she's going to put that in there.
Originally, I was manufacturing.
She's going to put that tag in there. It's YASIMBA.com. Yasimba.com.
Yasimba.com. And the fall line will be out next week. So originally, I was designing the clothes, but we were manufacturing. Don't get mad. But then when I came here, I found out, okay, I can get labor around the same price. It's a little bit more expensive here. And I could set up right here. So in February, I moved my factory.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we manufacture 2 blocks up the street here. I walk up to my factory every day. I hired a great tailor. His name is Quessy. He's my shop foreman. We've hired some
Get shopping black. Hire black. I like it.
We hiring black. My company is 100% black at this point. Everybody working in my company, from my secretary to all of my tailors and seamstresses, all of my production managers, everybody like that. Everybody is black. We are a 100% black company. I'm the lightest brother in the company. Okay. That being said, we were manufacturing the clothes. We moved the whole factory here to Africa. I bought the sewing machine, everything like that. And then, we saw what happened. We said, listen, what can we do to the Black thing.
Might be getting throttled by Facebook there, or you're getting another call. Where we at time wise? There you go. Now you're back in.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you? Okay. So my tailor, he was like, "Yo, what can we do to show our black brothers in America that we have their back. And I was like, well, you got to let them know Black Lives Matter. So he put together this the Black Lives Matter dashiki, and I was like, you know what? We got to put that out. Now, Yasimba is a high-end clothing line. You know, we're trying to compete with Gucci, Prada, things like that. So I decided, you know what? I need another label for 30 shirts. So we got the Black Lives Matter and the George Floyd. And we created 1619. So you can get these at 1619gear.com. 1619gear.com. I'm gonna put it 1619gear.com.
And I'm gonna put that again. That's 1619gear. That's 1619gear.com. Get your dashiki today. That's all 100% black owned, black made, from the dashiki to the printing to the shipping, all straight from Africa. You're getting this done by Mr. Andre Roxx company, 1619gear.com. 1619gear.com. Yeah, definitely got to put that out there. I mean, I see people asking around, you know, where can I get this? Where can I get that? I think yours is real original. A lot of people doing the t-shirts. Great thing, you buying from black, keep buying black. We shouldn't just do it one day. It shouldn't have took 2020 for you to figure that out, but buy black. But yours came with a different twist with the dashikis with it. We've been looking for where can we buy our clothing and keep buying it from black. If nothing else, my wife's been wanting to get us some gray shirts. Previously, we got you watching. I can wave there. There it is. And you talking about your models? I seen that photo shoot you had. Yeah. you got to go in there hard, man. Yeah. There you go. Get your own Black Lives Matter dashiki at 1619gear.com. 1619gear.com. Here at WPLAY, we play all day. You need to know that you can do it too. Everyone's got a dream, something they're doing, but you know what? The more we shift our dollars into our people, the more we're enhancing our people. And that's why I say I don't care if I'm buying a t-shirt or I've learned to buy toothbrushes, some detergent, and I'm gonna give a shout out to Addicted to Black, and also We Buy Black. Those guys have been giving great responses, great groups of people getting together. If you have a family business, something smaller, you might not be shipping all over the country. That's okay. We do the same thing. It's black-owned family businesses. Get in that group so you can maybe get some networking going. But it takes a village to raise a child. How many people do you think it's going to take to get our people out of the situation we're in? It's not going to be just protesting. It ain't going to be filing lawsuits. It's going to take you doing some action. And the other part I was bringing up about the civil rights movement and what we were doing is when I did a little studying more of our history, the way that we fought back was by making our own businesses, by shopping with each other. Our dollars are where we can hurt them at. Our dollars are bigger than anything else. They don't care about your life. They care about black dollars. Then I bet you that much. So if you start taking your black dollars and put them in the other black businesses, we're winning.
One thing I want to say is this. Of America and came here to Africa. And I realized we've been fighting for a place that has never loved us. When there's a place that's just a 13-hour plane, now I won't lie, the plane ride is a pain in the ass.
13.
It is a long plane ride. It is a 13-hour plane ride, and you land in a place that you have all of the things that you've been fighting for your whole life: equality, justice, freedom, peace. You have in abundance here. Start investing dollars here. People love us instead of investing our dollars. Why are we? It's not like, okay, quality. took it away.
That stream's getting real bad over there. I think someone else must have called you again there.
Um, no,
I have heard that being one of the shortcomings, if you can call it, out of all the other great things in Africa. I've heard that unless you have your own satellite, I mean your own dish going on there, it's kind of hard on some of the reception, no matter what basis of your internet you're on. It happens all over Africa. I've seen it in other places. I had someone who was in Liberia before telling me about it. But all the other pluses, hey, you're still getting it. And some people don't even think they have internet over there.
They're installing my dish in 2 weeks, so it's no big deal. And you know, people say, okay, yes, there are differences in Africa. People say, oh, they're not wired for broadband, they're not wired for what's it called, fiber optic. You're right. Ghana is not wired for fiber optic because everybody has a dish.
It's a little less expensive to get one there, I bet too.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, hold on. Let me show you again. Show you over my neighbor's house here. Yeah. Hold on. I don't know if you can see that, but he got about 10 dishes on his house. You know, it's anybody with any means has a dish. That's just you know, that's how it goes. So as of right now, I'm just waiting for them to install mine. It's not that big of an issue.
So you know we got to have you back on here when they do that, so we can get every word of what you're speaking, because you've been speaking some good knowledge. I just want to make sure that the viewers know the main thing that we want to make sure is we can get together and share knowledge of what you need to know to maybe save at least one. Save at least one. Knowledge has been power. That's why they didn't want us to read books in the back in the day anyway. But it was to read the books about what they were. Think about it. We weren't writing those books. We were able to accomplish so many things without these things that they were writing. We did have back, if you want to go way back in the Native of America even, they would do it on little ropes. They would tie little messages in a rope. And that was all the relation of communication they needed from one place to another place for a person to person. And we're reaching out to hopefully save a life of at least one person. If they don't learn anything, teach them what the laws that are being held against them. Let them know the laws that the people are breaking. Let alone be able to speak against it or do something about it. So learn what the Constitution is all about. Learn what the 4th Amendment is all about. Learn what the 14th Amendment is all about. Here at WPLAY, we thank you for tuning in. We do play all day, but we talk about those things you need to know. Charles Davis here saying, hope you have a great night and a great life.